This is a CCEA paper. This is MAS and it's M7 paper 2. That's the calculator part of it, and it's from November 2021. So let's take a wee look then at the first question. Trapezium is divided into 3 equilateral triangles, 1 black and 2 white. The trapezium has side length of 20 as shown. The trapeziums are lined up to make chain patterns like this, that's 30, that's 40, and that's 50. Complete the table for the missing length for 10 trapeziums. So hopefully you can see the pattern. It's kind of 1 times 2, so 40. You would times by 10, obviously, then add 10. So that one then should be 110. Complete the table for the missing number of white triangles when the pattern number is 10. So again, 4, 6, 8. So what's my pattern there? It's times by 2 and add 2. Do you see that there? So the gap's 2 each time. That means it's like 2n, and then add 2. So times by 2 and add 2. I then get 22. Raisins are sold in 3 different sizes of tubs. Which is the best value for money? You must show your working. So if we just work out 100 grams then for each of these, that should work us out. So 100 grams here, that divide by 5, so divide that by 5 would be 70p. 100 grams is 70p. 100 grams here is 75p. And then 100 grams here, we need to divide this by 9. So this one's a wee bit tougher, but we can still work that out. 650 divided by 9. So 9 into 6 doesn't go 9 into 6, goes 7 times, and there's 2 left over. So 72. And then we have 2 left over, so 72.2p. So the best one, best value for money then is the 500 gram one. Bob changed £35 into euros. Bev changed 42 into euros. The exchange rate was 1 to 106. How many more euro did Bev get than Bob? Okay, so it's 35 multiplied by 1.06. Now that requires a wee bit of thought to make sure you're multiplying rather than dividing, but hopefully you'll kind of get there. If you have £35, you should end up with more euro, because there's more euro, more than €1 in the pound, and we have that. So 35 times 1.06, that gives me 37.1 euro, and then 42 times 1.06 gives me 44.52. And then I want to subtract those two things. So 44.52 take away £37.10, and that gives me 7.42. Now the other way you could do it is take those away first of all and then change it into euro, and that'll work as well. A roll of wallpaper has a width of 53 centimeters, measures to the nearest centimeter. What's the maximum width of this roll of wallpaper? So it could go in half a centimeter higher, so it would be 53.5. Television has a screen of 88.6 centimeters, measured to 1 decimal place. What's the minimum screen width of this television? So if that's gone to 1 decimal place, we'd need to go to an extra decimal place, so it's 88.55. There's the one then below that. So 88.55 centimeters. One Saturday, 460 people visited the museum. 180 were children, of which 3/5 were girls. 280 were adults. And the ratio of men to women was 4 to 3. Paul says altogether more females and males and females visited the museum that Saturday. Is he correct? Right. We need to do some sums here then and trying to work it out. So 180 were children. Uh, 180 children, 3/5. So 1/5 is of course 36. So if you do 180 divided by 5 is 36. So that means 2/5 were boys, and that's 72, and 3/5 were girls, and that then is 108. Okay, then for adults there were 280, and it was men to women in the ratio 4:3. So 4 plus 3 is 7, so 280 divided by 7 gives me 40. That means there were 160 men and there were 120 women. So the boys then was 160 and 72 is 232, and then women was 120 plus 108. Sorry, you couldn't see that, could you? Which is 228. Paul says altogether more males than females visit the museum, etc. Is he correct? The answer then is yes. Paul is correct because that's females and that's males. Work out the size of the angle in the pentagon above. So it's a pentagon, so they all need to add the 540. So we were going to do 540 take away 136 plus 127 plus 95 plus 111. And we get then 71. A company makes memory chips. The probability that one of these memory chips is faulty is 0.025. The company makes 1800 memory chips each hour. Work out an estimate for the number of memory chips that will not be faulty. So I'm going to do 1800 times 0.025. You could take this away from 1 and do it the other way around, but that's okay. And that gives me 45. So therefore the not faulty ones are going to be 1800 take away 45, which gives me then 1755. Draw the graph of y equals 5 minus x squared. The table below will help you. So we need to substitute in then minus 2 here. Minus 2 squared gives me 4. 5 take away 4 gives me 1. Minus 1 squared gives me 1. 5 take away 1 is 4. Sub in 0, I get 5. Substitute in the number 2. 5 take away 2 squared was 4, so 5 take away 4 is 1. And 5 take away 9 then is minus 4. So my curve then, whenever I draw it, is a point minus 3 minus 4 minus 3 minus 4 minus 2 1 minus 1 4 0 5 1 4 2 1 and then 3 minus 4, just down here, and then just try my best then to draw a nice curve here. So that's not bad. Use the graph of y equals 5 minus x squared to solve 5 minus x squared equals minus 2. So that is kind of y is 5 minus x squared and y is minus 2. So I need to draw the line y equals minus 2 on my graph to see if I can get my information in from there. So the line y equals minus 2 is my horizontal line going there. So I have that, and so I'm looking for this point here and this point here. Again, it should be symmetrical, so that's across 2, so it's 2.6 and minus 2.6 are my two answers in for that. And those are the two answers that I need. Okay. Question 9a. Simplify 12x to the power 5 divided by 3x cubed. Just take it a step at a time. So the 12 divided by the 3 gives me 4. X to the 5 divided by x to the 3. You subtract the powers there. So it's 4x squared. X cubed all to the power 4. There we multiply the powers. And so that's x to the power 12. Eva wants to find the nth term of this sequence. She knows that it starts with 4n. Complete the nth term for this sequence. Well, I always number them 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The gap's 4, so Eva's is indeed right. So it's going to be 4n. I substitute the number 1 into this. 4 times 1 gives me 4, but I want 3. So it's 4n minus 3. Work out the size of an exterior angle of a 24-sided regular polygon. So a 24-sided regular polygon looks like this. And that's the exterior angle there. Because it's regular, all the exterior angles are always the same, and they all of them, if it's all 24 of them add up to 360. So I need to do 360 divided by 24, and that gives me 15. The sum of the interior angles of a regular polygon is 1800. How many sides? Work out how many sides this polygon has. We can do it a couple of different ways. We could use the 180 upon n minus 2 formula equals 1800. The other thing, if you haven't seen this before, just work your way up. You'll kind of get there eventually. The deal is a triangle, which is 3 sides, is 180. 4 sides is 360, and it just goes up in 180s each time. So just kind of keep yourself going until you get there. So that means n minus 2 divided by 180, then it's 10, and then n is 12. But if you keep adding 180s, you'll get the 12, and you get the 1800, and that's a totally fine way of doing it. On the grid, draw the enlargement of the quadrilateral using a scale factor of 1/3, and the center of enlargement is minus 2, minus 1. So minus 2, minus 1 is here, and my scale factor of enlargement then is going to be 1/3, so it should be getting kind of 3 times smaller-ish. So to get from here to this corner here, it's across 3 and up 6. So instead of going across 3 and up 6, I want to go across 1 and up 2. So that's one of my new points. This here is 6 and 3. So instead of going 6 and 3, I go 2 and 1. Going across here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then up 3. So instead of going 9 and 3, I go 3 and 1. And then a bit of counting then for this last one to do, although you can kind of see the shape and hopefully it's okay. You're going from minus 2 to 10, so that's across 12, and you're going up from 8, so minus 1 to 8 is 9, so it's 12 and 9, so I want to go 4 and 3, and hopefully that shape then is the right size. And that's it then, scale factor 1/3. Question 12. Gina made a model of a pyramid. The model has a height of 5.4 centimeters and a volume of 300. She now plans to make a similar pyramid 4 times as large with a height of 21.6. What will the volume of this new shape be? So 5.4 obviously times by 4 gives me 21.6. So the scale factor of the lengths is 1 to 4. That means the scale factor of the volumes is going to be 1 cubed to 4 cubed. So we actually, it's going to be 1 then to 64. So we need to times 300 times by 64. Doesn't feel right, but it is 300 times by 64 and 19200. Rob plans to travel to Australia by air. His choice of destinations are Adelaide, Brisbane, Melbourne, Perth and Sydney. He plans to make just one stop on his journey to Australia. For each of these he can choose Singapore, Hong Kong, Bangkok or Dubai. How many different choices does he have for flying to Australia? So if he's going to any of those 4, so we can go 1, 2, 3, 4 and he can go to Singapore, Hong Kong, Bangkok or Dubai, and from those he can go to any of Adelaide, Brisbane, Melbourne, Perth or Sydney. So for each of those then there's going to be, so you can see there's 5 in each of those, so 5 times 4 then it's going to give us 20. The probability that it will snow in Enniskillen on Christmas Day in any year is 0.09. The probability of snow in Tokyo on Christmas Day in any year is 0.11. Work out the probability that it will snow in Enniskillen and in Tokyo on Christmas Day in 2021. So it's 0.09 times 0.11. And 9 times 11 gives me 99. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 0.0. 0.99. Survey of patients in a GP surgery found that 9% were seen within 5 minutes, 63% had to wait between 5 and 10, and 28% had them at 10 minutes longer. Work out the probability the patient chosen at random was seen within 10 minutes of their appointment time. So within 10 minutes is this one or this one. So the probability, so if you want to go then, so 9 plus 63 is 72%, then as a probability that's 0.72. T varies as a square of D. When D is 0.3, T is 10.8. Express T in terms of D. T is proportional to D squared. T equals K D squared, and then substitute these in then, so it's 10.8 equals K upon 0.3 squared. 10.8 equals 0.09K. K then is 10.8 divided by 0.09, 10.8 divided by 0.09, and K is 120. So that's our answer that we're looking for. So T equals 120 D squared. Find the value of D for which T is 30. So it means 30 equals 120 D squared. D squared is 30 divided by 120, which is a quarter, and take the square root of a quarter, then you're going to get a half, or minus a half, I suppose, effectively. I think they're probably looking for a half.